Data collection. Now, this is usually such a headache in the impact space. If you want to try and survey your impact on the ground, it usually means messy and complex forms, which is super hard to build, but they're also hard to respond to, because if you've got this detailed survey that's it's rigid, so it's forcing you into a box to give certain answers. If you're then interviewing people in the field, sometimes English isn't their primary language, so they've got this complex survey. They don't really know the meaning of all the questions. So it's really hard to actually get rich data and get people to open up. But luckily, ReportsAI has an answer for this, and it's within our data collection project, which links straight to our data collection app, but that's also available in the browser. There's a conversational chatbot. So it asks follow-up questions. You can also ask it questions. You can talk in text or audio in any language, and it will just keep switching between whatever you use. So you could talk to it in Swahili even. And it allows people to just open up a bit more and gets a much more rich data set. So it's very easy to do. So let me just show you. You just come in to ReportsAI and go to data collection. So let's get me out of the way here. So it gives you a bit of a background on what we're doing here. So if I now want to create a new data collection project, and I'm going to call it Okay. If you make it public, it is still just public to your platform, so the other users within your platform, not public. That also means that you can just share a link for respondents and they can just respond without any password, etc. If you did want to make it private, so when you share a link with somebody, if they want to respond, they have to put in a password, then you can create a password for the survey. And then you can choose how many responses each person is allowed. I'm going to go for 1. Next. You can do KPI tracking here, so you can either give it some context on what the KPIs are to track, or you can upload things like a log frame or anything relevant to your organization that will extract the KPIs to track for you. But you don't have to do this. This is optional, because from the questionnaire, it can kind of figure out what KPIs to track anyway. So I'm just going to jump straight to giving it a questionnaire, and then it's going to create the survey for me. So it just saves so much time. You haven't got to mess around in those complex survey creating tools. So I'm just going to choose a file. In my downloads, I had a survey impact. Okay. So upload that, data points, and the AI is going to do all the heavy lifting for me and create the survey. And so basically the model then understands what data it wants to collect, but then it's still going to collect that data in a conversational manner where it probes people with additional questions to try and get more information. Or if they ask it questions, it can tell them, okay, what is the context of what it's trying to ask and what is the survey about. So it's like having a professional surveyor, but it's instantly accessible to whoever you're surveying, like even in the app or via the web app as well. So it's generated all of these questions for me, as easy as that. You can even ask for evidences and say that it requires a photo even. So it allows you to upload images, evidences, things like that. It's really amazing. Honestly, saves people so much time. But the best thing is that the data you're getting is richer because of that conversational nature of it. And really the whole impact measurement space rests on the quality of data. So we're just trying to ensure the data quality is as strong as possible. Okay, so I'm going to finish. That's great. So it's just creating that for me. Cool. So now that project's created, and as quick as that, you've got your data collection project ready to go. You can see it has this public URL that you can then share with anyone so that they can then easily respond. You can check the questions. Just click this. You can see the questions it's going to ask. And then all of your collected data is going to end up in here, in this table. So you can see the information that it's collecting. As responses come in, they're going to come in here. So you can kind of track as it's coming in real time. Don't forget you have this AI chatbot that is actually linked to your data collection project. So when data comes in, you can actually interact with that data using the AI chatbot, ask any questions about your own data, which I think is awesome. And if you wanted to create a password, you can create a password for people to be able to access this, by the way. And then once people start responding and you've got some data, you can just with one click turn it into a live dashboard, or with one click generate a report from it. But I really like this feature. You can also get a map where you can, if you ask for geolocation data and people accept that, then you can see where the respondents were from as well. And then you can see the map of where all the respondents are, but then it's interactive as well. So you can ask questions like, show me all the respondents where food security was below 50% as a measure. Then you'll be able to see all the respondents where food security is low, and you'll see that on a map. So I think that's really amazing for the NGO space. So I absolutely love that feature. But I just want to quickly show you what it looks like from the perspective of people who are completing. So if I click this public URL, it now takes me into Talk2me, which is our data collection tool. So I can now, this is the impact survey, so it tells me it's got 10 questions, and I can now just start a conversation. It says hello there, let's go. So are you ready to begin? Yes, let's go. Again, please tell me, are you currently pregnant or have given birth in the last 6 months? So I'm going to answer this actually on audio. So I am supporting, I have to click this. I am supporting somebody who is currently pregnant. Now if I send that, it's now processing the audio, and it should respond to me in audio because I flipped to audio. So it just keeps matching you whatever you do. If I were to flip to another language, it would flip to that language and respond to me in that language. See, now it's responding to me in audio.
Thank you for sharing that. It's very helpful to know. Now, let's move on to question 2. During the pregnancy, how many antenatal care visits did you attend? Your options are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or more. Not applicable. I do not remember.
So let me just quickly jump through these questions. So I just want to quickly show you the type of follow-up questions it asks. So it asked me where I gave birth, or where the person I supported gave birth, and said at home. It says, thank you for sharing that. Given birth at home can present unique circumstances, could you tell me a little more about why delivery took place at home? So I'm going to use audio again to respond to that. We didn't have time to get to a health facility, and the roads aren't really that usable, and there wasn't really access to any means of transport there. Awesome, so now go there.
Thank you for explaining that. The challenges with transportation and road conditions are important to understand.
So now it's asking me who assisted with delivery. Let me quickly just finish these. Great, so I just answered the last question here. So it says now the data collection is complete. You can either continue or finish, so I'm going to click finish. And now all of my answers are instantly going to feed straight into ReportsAI. Cool, so it's fed straight in. That's done. So I'm in Talk2me here. So let me jump back into my data collection project. This one, yep. So if I go back to data collection and go back to my project, here it is. And you see I've got one response, one data piece collected so far. So I don't think I'm going to have anything under map yet because, but let me see if I click live map. Okay, so no GPS found because I didn't activate the geolocation in the form. But I can click live dashboard and see what it looks like in a dashboard, even though it's only one response. Cool, so that's that generated a dashboard for me. Let's have a look. And so it's obviously, I only got the one survey response, but you can see what the kind of dashboards you can get. And then you would be able to also just generate a report using that data as well. So really awesome functionality in here. You can share it with other people, etc. So we're just really streamlining the process of collecting data from the field and getting insights straight away. And hopefully people can get richer insights of their programs on the ground, then they can make smarter decisions to increase their overall impact.